There are moments in life when love is not only felt, it is authorized from a higher place. Many people meet someone and immediately call it love. But not every connection is meant to stay. Not every relationship is meant to grow with you. And not every season of your life is ready to carry the weight of true, God-approved love. This message is different. We are not talking about crushes, temporary attention, or romantic fantasy. We are talking about divinely aligned love, a love that comes with assignment, with stability, and with movement. Before we go further, pause for a moment. If, deep in your heart, you believe that love should do more than just make you feel good, if you believe that love should build you, heal you, and lift your life to a higher level, go to the comments and type the word ready. That word is not for the algorithm alone. It is a sign that your heart is open, your spirit is listening, and you are willing to receive the kind of love that God sends with purpose. This message is for the person who has loved sincerely, who has waited longer than they expected, and who has secretly wondered, will love ever stop breaking me? Will I ever meet someone who doesn't just take from me, but actually helps me rise? You have poured into the wrong people. You have stayed in places that could not hold your future. You have adjusted, tolerated, and forgiven beyond your limit. Yet deep down, you still believe that there is a different kind of love, a love that comes from God's timing, not human pressure. Today's message will help you understand something many people never see clearly. Sometimes God does not send the right person early because you are still being shaped and they are still being prepared. There are seasons where God protects you from love because He plans to one day protect you through love. And when that love finally appears, it does more than make your heart feel warm for a moment. It reorganizes your life. It shifts your atmosphere. It upgrades your environment. It elevates you. And in many cases, it relocates you, emotionally, spiritually, and even physically. This coming season is not about chasing someone, begging for attention, or trying to prove that you are worthy. It is about stepping into what has already been declared over your life. A wealthy soulmate, a partner with vision, a love that does not lower you but lifts you. Stay with this message carefully. What you are about to hear will help you understand why certain people had to leave, why some situations could not continue, and why your past relationships, no matter how intense, could not stay. Because the love that is coming next is not just another chapter, it is a turning point. Many people quietly ask the same question in their hearts. Why did love take so long? But the real issue was never timing. The real issue was readiness. Some kinds of love arrive quickly and leave just as fast. But the love being prepared for you is heavy with responsibility. It carries growth, movement, and increase. And anything that carries weight must first be held by something strong. A wealthy soulmate is not only identified by money. Wealth, in this sense, is about capacity. It is emotional strength. It is spiritual awareness. It is mental stability. It is the ability to handle pressure without collapsing. Capacity is never rushed. It is built over time. You had to learn how to stand alone before standing beside someone powerful. You had to understand your value before joining someone who recognizes worth. You had to develop clarity before walking with someone who has vision. If this love had arrived earlier, it would have overwhelmed you. You may have doubted it. You may have sabotaged it. You may not have known how to receive it. That is why earlier relationships could not last. Not because love was missing, but because the foundation was weak. Some connections came when you were still healing. Some arrived while you were still unsure of yourself. Others appeared when you were still attached to survival, not growth. Elevation requires structure. Without structure, growth becomes unstable. Relocation requires grounding. Without grounding, movement becomes loss instead of progress. This is why your heart went through seasons of refinement, why certain people slowly fell away, why distractions were exposed, why attachments that once felt safe suddenly became heavy. These were not punishments, they were preparations. God does not hand advanced assignments to unprepared lives. He does not release high-level love into low-level understanding. The love coming to you is not meant to soothe you briefly. It is not meant to distract you from loneliness. It is not meant to repeat old cycles. It is permanent alignment. And alignment does not happen early. Alignment waits until you are mature enough to keep what you asked for. This is why nothing forced itself into your life. This is why delays protected you. This is why the right love waited until you could receive it without fear, confusion, or self-doubt. This future partner does not come into your life asking to be repaired. They are not searching for someone to save them, fix them, or complete unfinished work. They arrive already built, steady in who they are and clear about what they want. Their presence does not drain you. It does not leave you guessing. Instead, it feels calm and grounded. You do not feel rushed around them. You do not feel pressured to explain yourself repeatedly. You do not feel the need to overextend just to keep their attention. They are secure, not demanding. They are calm, not anxious. They bring peace without effort. Unlike past connections that move too fast, this one respects process. They understand that real love grows slowly and deeply. They do not push intimacy before trust is built. They value progress more than control. This soulmate understands responsibility. They know how to manage their emotions. They know how to make decisions with clarity. They know how to carry vision without collapsing under pressure. Their wealth does not show through loud words or display. It shows in how they remain steady during difficult moments. It shows in how they solve problems instead of avoiding them. It shows in their discipline and consistency. They do not see love as pain or sacrifice alone. They see love as partnership. Two people building together, not one person carrying everything. Where others drained you emotionally, this person restores balance. Where others caused constant confusion, this connection brings clarity. You are not left questioning your worth or your place. They do not compete with your purpose. They do not feel threatened by your calling. They protect what you are becoming. This is someone who plans instead of reacting. Someone who builds instead of borrowing. Someone who leads with wisdom rather than impulse. This difference is not accidental. It is intentional because the past prepared you, but this connection is meant to move you forward. Elevation does not start with a new place. It does not begin with a new house, a new city, or a new lifestyle. Elevation begins inside, with identity. This love does not reduce who you are. It does not ask you to shrink, adjust, or hide parts of yourself. Instead, it recognizes you. Around this person, your mind feels clearer. You are not overthinking every word. You are not second-guessing your actions. Your thoughts feel organized, not scattered. You feel calmer. Your emotions settle instead of swinging from fear to hope. You are no longer on edge waiting for disappointment, and little by little, your vision expands. You begin to see beyond survival. You start thinking about long-term goals, stable futures, and meaningful building. Your standards rise naturally, not because someone pressures you, not because you are afraid of losing them, but because their example quietly inspires you. You begin to speak differently. You choose your words with more care. You carry yourself with confidence instead of doubt. You walk with assurance instead of apology. Your dreams change. They become clearer. They gain structure. They feel possible. This is what real elevation looks like. You are not pushed to change. You are inspired to grow. This love sharpens your discipline. It helps you manage your time, your energy, and your focus better. It strengthens how you control your emotions rather than being controlled by them. Your discernment improves. You recognize what deserves your attention and what does not. You learn to protect your peace without guilt. This relationship does not pull you away from your purpose. It fuels it. It gives you strength instead of distraction, support instead of pressure. Most importantly, this kind of love does not separate you from God. It draws you closer through order, balance, and responsibility, through peace instead of chaos, through stewardship instead of fear. That is how divine love works. It does not rush multiplication. It stabilizes first, so when growth comes, nothing collapses. Relocation is not always about moving to a new address. Sometimes it begins internally. Sometimes it starts with mindset. But with this kind of love, relocation often becomes physical as well. This is because growth requires space, and new seasons need new ground. Every environment carries instructions. The place you stay in shapes how you think, how you move, and what you expect. When God assigns something new, the surroundings must match the assignment. New callings cannot survive in old limitations. New responsibilities cannot grow in restricted spaces. God does not expand lives inside environments that cannot support expansion. This union creates movement, slowly but clearly. You begin to notice new opportunities appearing. New people come into your life naturally. New doors open without struggle. Sometimes relocation means a new city or a new country. Sometimes it means stepping into a better professional level. Sometimes it means leaving survival mode for good and entering stability. In every form, the message remains the same. Your current environment is too small for what is coming. And this is not loss. It is not punishment. It is invitation. An invitation to grow without fighting, to build without fear, to live with margin instead of constant pressure. This love carries you from merely maintaining life into moving forward with momentum. You go from holding on desperately to stepping forward confidently. This relocation does not come through force, no panic, no rushing. It happens through alignment. Things begin to fit. Steps make sense. Timing becomes clear. Doors open naturally because you are qualified to walk through them. Resistance fades because struggle is no longer necessary. Provision meets intention because purpose is being honored. And suddenly, life feels lighter. You are no longer boxed in. You are no longer confined. For the first time in a long while, life finally has room to breathe. Wealth in this message is not about having more than others. It is not about luxury, flashing success, or public display. True wealth here means security. It means peace of mind. It means stability. It means freedom from constant fear about tomorrow. God does not place emotional responsibility on unstable foundations. He does not connect hearts when one or both people are still fighting to survive. Because when survival dominates a relationship, love is forced to compete with stress. This soulmate understands that provision is not about ego. They see money as stewardship, not status. Something to manage wisely, not something to use for control. They do not fear abundance. They are not intimidated by growth. They do not panic when responsibility increases. They understand how to handle resources calmly. They know how to plan instead of reacting. They know how to save instead of spending emotionally. They know how to invest patiently instead of rushing for quick gain. They know how to multiply steadily over time. But beyond financial knowledge, there is maturity. This soulmate does not use money to dominate a relationship. They do not make you feel small because they provide. They do not measure your worth by what you bring financially. They do not withhold support to gain power. Instead, they use stability to protect peace. They understand that love grows best where fear is absent, where basic needs are covered, where decisions are made from clarity, not desperation. They support vision instead of limiting it. They encourage growth instead of controlling direction. They value structure because structure protects progress. This is someone who understands that financial stability reduces constant tension. It allows conversations to be healthier. It allows planning to be intentional. It allows rest to exist without guilt. When survival is no longer the main focus, love can breathe. Intimacy can deepen. Trust can expand. This soulmate knows that money alone does not sustain a relationship, but the lack of it can damage one if not managed wisely. So stability becomes part of the design. Not to impress others, not to replace faith, but to create an environment where love is free to grow. This relationship is not built on luxury. It is built on sustainability, on wisdom, on preparedness, and that shifts everything, because instead of constantly fighting to stay afloat, this love is free to build something lasting, peaceful, and strong. Even when love is divinely aligned, it still requires discernment on your part. Alignment does not remove responsibility, it deepens it. Not every good feeling means go now. Not every open door means run through it. This love must be recognized quietly, not forced loudly. It must be received calmly, not chased anxiously, and it must be honored without fear of losing it. In this season, your role is different from before. You are no longer trying to be chosen. You are no longer bending to be acceptable. You are no longer proving that you deserve commitment. This season asks you to be still enough to discern what is real. Patience matters now, because rushed love skips discernment, and desperation clouds judgment. So this season calls for patience, not pursuit. For clarity, not emotional urgency. Stay grounded in who you are becoming. Do not abandon your values because someone shows interest. Do not lower your boundaries because attention feels flattering. Stay obedient to what you already know brings you peace. Peace is not accidental. It is your signal. Stay receptive without being reckless. Open your heart without surrendering wisdom. Listen more than you speak. Observe actions more than words. You are not meant to persuade this love into existence. You are not meant to convince someone to do right by you. You are not meant to negotiate your worth. Do not compare timelines. Comparison creates pressure where patience should be. What arrives fast for someone else may not be built to sustain them. What takes time for you is being protected, refined, and strengthened. Do not revisit expired connections. Do not romanticize what drained you. Do not give new access to old patterns. Some doors closed because they could not move where you were going. Some relationships ended because they were based on survival, not growth. What is meant for you does not arrive in pieces. It comes whole, not borrowed from someone else, not broken from past damage, not rushed by loneliness or fear. Your task is not to make this love happen. You cannot manufacture alignment. You cannot speed up preparation. Your responsibility is to remain positioned. Positioned emotionally. Calm, not needy. Positioned spiritually. Attentive, not distracted. Positioned mentally. Clear, not confused. When you remain positioned, you stop forcing doors. You stop chasing reassurance. You stop doubting yourself. And that is when what is assigned to you recognizes you without explanation and finds you without resistance. This message confirms something you need to hear clearly and without doubt. You were never behind. You were not late. You did not miss your moment. You were being prepared. Every delay had purpose. Every ending had instruction. Every quiet season was working something into you that loud seasons never could. The love coming into your life does not erase your past. It redeems it. Nothing you went through was wasted. The mistakes taught awareness. The losses built discernment. The disappointment strengthened your boundaries. This love does not reopen old wounds. It closes cycles. It does not repeat patterns. It ends them. You are stepping into a partnership that brings stability rather than chaos. A connection that calms your emotions instead of disturbing them. A bond that strengthens your faith instead of testing it constantly. This is a love that expands your life without overwhelming it. A love that supports your growth without rushing it. A love that matches your maturity. This is not just romance, it is alignment. Love with purpose, love with provision, love with movement. Movement forward, not backward. Movement upward, not sideways. Movement into peace, not confusion. If this message connected deeply with your heart, take a moment and comment, "I receive" below. Not for attention, not for validation, but as a quiet declaration that you are ready to walk in alignment with what is being prepared for you. And as you move forward from this moment, hold this truth firmly. When God sends love, it does not arrive empty-handed. It arrives with clarity. It arrives with stability. It arrives with direction. It comes ready to elevate, and it comes prepared to relocate your mindset, your standards, your environment, and your future. So stay aligned, stay prepared, and stay open. Without fear, because your next season is not confused about who you are. It recognizes your growth, it respects your journey, and it already knows your name.